Hello everyone, Retro Robbie here with another mini break. What I got here is some wheat pennies. So I buy these occasionally on eBay, especially when I can't get rolls and all that. I'll buy a couple of these to do a search through and all that. Some are really good, some are really bad. I've opened a bunch of these, and I keep a point system on these to see, if you get some decent wheat pennies or you're getting off in the 50s or 40s. But, then I keep track of them, and then the good dealers I will buy back from again. And this is one of them. So I bought 3 quick ones. They usually tease you with a Indian head ender on each end, as you can see there. This one's covered, but that one is showing, and that one as well. So I thought I'd just do a quick break of these for you guys. And what I usually do is do them 10 at a time, and then I just do a kind of a recount. I will probably come on in if there is some interesting finds here, but I'll open one up live here so you kind of see what we're dealing with here. Like I said, they're not really BUs or anything like that in here. They're all circulated wheat pennies, but they're great album fillers. Or if you stack wheat pennies, I know some people do. I do a little bit as well, so it's kind of nice to have. And as you can see here, there's multiple. You can see the steel pennies in there. So we'll go through this here. Give me a few minutes to lay it out a little bit nicely, and we'll go through the first 10 for you and show you what I see. We'll be right back. So we have the first 10 laid out. Like I usually do 10 at a time to see what I got, and then I keep track of by what decade they're from, and keep track on a spreadsheet to see if these are a good value or not. So the first time we saw that Indian head ender, and that is a 1906 Indian head. So like I said, it's worn. They're probably you can't see the Liberty on the headband or anything like that, so they're quite worn. But they're nice to have if you're stacking them and all that. So there's a 1906 Indian head. We got 4 from the 50s, 2 from the 40s, and one very circulated Steel Cent, as you can see there, 43 out of Philadelphia. And then we got 1 from the 20s, a very nice 25. And then the final one is a 1917 Philadelphia. So, like I said, they're all kind of years in here. Of course, you're probably going to get more towards the 50s and 40s, but it's always nice to see like a 1970 pop up there when you're buying these wheat penny rolls, especially if they're the teens or from 1909 or something like that. So hopefully we'll get some other finds, maybe another Indian head, and I'll show that to you. So I'll leave the next 10 out. If there's something special, I'll keep going on until I see something, and then I'll break back in and then give you a wrap up of this first roll. So we'll be right back. All right, I'm looking at coins 30 through 39 here, and I thought I'd bring you in here. We'll just do a quick wrap up of the 10. I got 3 from the 50s, 4 from the 40s, but one's a Steel Cent. We have a 1938 Philadelphia and a nice 1919 wheat cent. And the one I'm bringing in here for is there's another Indian head. However, this one is really old. As a matter of fact, you can't see the date. I mean, barely. I could see it if you have a scope or bring it up to the light. But one giveaway on Indian heads is every Indian head year except for 1859 had the shield on the back. So as you see, the one we saw, the last one, had that shield. This one does not have a shield. It weighs 4.3 ounces, and it has all the characteristics of an 1859 wheat cent. So this is the very first wheat cent. It's in slick condition. I can now barely see the 1859, and I don't think you guys will be able to either. But like I said, trying to get it there so you can see the shine. Like I said, the giveaway on the back, and again, it's hard to see. However, when you bring it up to the scope, it will, you don't see the shield there. It goes, the reef goes from end to end. So I know for a fact, and I compared it to my other 1859 that you see here. It's the same characteristics and everything. This one's a little better shaped by 1859. I only have this one. So this is actually my second 1859 that I've ever gotten. So it's very slick. I mean, with barely seeing the date, you're probably talking G1, G2, if you're lucky, G3. But even a G5 or G6, it's about a $15 coin. So that's a very nice find, even though it is very slicked out. So that's our second wheat penny. It is also an 1859. So that is a very old one, and it's the variety one. So it's they only made that 1 year, and it is like 88 copper, and the rest is nickel. So that was before they went to the 95% copper. So very nice find, actually. Even though it's slicked out, it is, I confirmed it, an 1859 wheat cent. So we'll keep searching. So very nice. We'll keep searching these rolls, and I'll bring in if I see something else good. All right, we're at the last 10 coins of this first roll, and just to give you a quick wrap up on these, at least. There was 3 from the 50s, 4 from the 40s. This one looks like very glued. Let's see, what year was that again? I can't read it. It is a 1928 Philadelphia. Well, it looks like it's been glued to something, unfortunately. I might clean that up. Like I said, these pennies are very circulated. They're not worth that much. People say, don't clean your coins, but, I might get the glue off from that. It ain't going to increase the value of this coin by any means, but I might do that. Most of the time I do not clean them, but that one I might might as well do a little cleaning and see if I can get gunk out. We did get an Indian head, though. That's why I brought you in. It is a 1902 Indian head. So we ended up with 3 in this roll, and very nice. Okay, we have that second roll there. Now I figured I'd open it for you guys so you can see, as always. Always nice to see them when they unravel out. As you can see, these aren't real rolls. They're, the recycled paper rolls that, they just put in. This one I like because it's like truly random. You don't see a whole bunch of 50s or they're all on one side or the other, and then stuff them with a bunch of nothings on the end. That's kind of why I kind of like these, and I try to open these as much as I can. Maybe if you like these, subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I will do more of these, and maybe from different vendors as well. So let's take a peek at that ender there. That was a 1903. So that one's not in bad shape, actually. It doesn't feel, there is a little Liberty on there. So this one's actually a little bit higher grade. So there's the Liberty on the headband there. And you usually do not see that on these. Most of these are pretty worn. I take that back. It's a 1908. It's a Philadelphia. So 1908. Last year they made them. But even so, it does have the Liberty on there. So this is a little higher graded one. So I can't complain too much about that. Considering, you usually get them without. So let's just kind of go through what I do. So then I pull the next 9. So then I have my first 10. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, look at that. There's another Indian head right there that popped up. So already 2 in the first 10 that we're going to search. So there's 7, 8, 9, 10. So those are the next 2. So let's just pull them up. So let's look at that another Indian head. So that is a 1903. So let me verify that quick a second. This one is definitely worn. Yeah, it's 1903. Lots of scratches. It's been worse for wear. But again, another Indian head. That's 2, and this is 1 really corroded steel penny. So that is put that up there. That is 1943. I mean, I can barely read that. Woof. That is 1 corroded wheat penny. We have a 1930. So that's nice. 1930. I can't read that mint mark. It is a 1930D. So Again, you're not going to find key or semi-key dates here. If you are, you consider yourself lucky. 58. This one has a little bit of life left in it. For a 46, that's not bad at all. It's a red brown, so very nice. 1950. And we got this next one here is 36. So another one for the 30s. So we got a 47D, and the last one's a 45. So we got 2 from the 50s, a 4 from the 40s, 1 being the Steel Cent, really corroded, and 2 from the 30s, and 2 Indian heads. So good start. I'll bring in if I see more Indian heads in the upcoming rolls, so stay tuned. Okay, literally the next 10 coins, so it would be coins 20 through 29. Just quick wrap up here. We got 4 from the 50s, 1 from the 40s, 1 from the 30s, a nice 1910 Philadelphia wheat cent. But in the next 10 rolls, there were actually 3 Indian heads in there. So quite shocking. We're already up to 5 Indian heads in this roll, which is quite amazing. That's actually quite a lot. I usually average about 2 to 3. So the first one's a 1906. The next one, they kind of get downgraded as we go along. As you can see, this one's really corroded here. It's a 1902. But the nice one here is, and it's hard to see because, again, it is corroded. Looks like it came out of the ground or something like that. But you can see the date. It is in 1884. So an older Indian head is in here as well, besides the 1859 that we got, but also an 1884. So 3 more Indian heads. We got 5 already in the first 20 coins. So this roll seems to be going to probably be the winner here, unless the third roll really outshines it. But we'll keep searching. If I find any more, I'll loop you back in. All right, that second roll did not have anything special behind it, although it did generate 200 points, and I'll show you that in the wrap-up. But I figure we just get into the roll 3 here and do that live so you can see what that Indian head is, and see if we get any more. It was nice that there were actually 5 Indian heads in that last roll, so that really popped up the points on that one. Looking through this one here, it looks like one corroded one, that's for sure. Pull that out, and there we go. And let's see what that Indian head is there at the end, and it is a 1887. 1897, sorry, my eyes are getting bad. 1897, so pre 20th century, so very nice. It's worn, but 1897, you would expect that out of these rolls. You're not going to get anything fancy, that's for sure. So let's look at the other 9 here. Let's do 4 or 6, 8, 9, including that super corroded one at the end. And that corroded one is an Indian head. It is a 1900. So there is actually 2 Indian heads in the first 10 coins. So it's really corroded, but it is 1900. It counts. It's really thin too. It's like it's been through the mill, that's for sure. Wow, that is really thin. It's slicked down pretty good, but you can still see the year, 1900. Let's quickly go through this final 8 here to see if there's anything special. We got 1949, so 1951 Denver. We have a 1957, and we have a 1936. Check the scope just to verify. 35 when you're off, but it's in the 30s. I have a 1940 Denver and a 1944 Philadelphia and 1948 Philadelphia. And the last one is a 1956. So we got 3 from the 50s, 4 from the 40s, 1 from the 30s, and the 2 Indian heads. Again, I'll bring you in if I find another Indian head in these coins. If not, we'll do the wrap up. All right, thanks. All right, we're on the next 10 coins, so coins 11 through 20, and some nice surprises here. So we'll just do a quick summary here. We got 4 from the 50s, 3 from the 40s, 2 of them being Steel Cent, and 1 of them was a S, although it's highly circulated and starting to rust a little bit. We also got a 1934 Philadelphia. We did get an Indian head in this bunch in 1901, and it's pretty used and abused, as you can see. Looks like something indented it and punched it up, so it's a kind of a warped 1901, which is sad, but it's still a 1901. But the surprise of it is a dime and my penny rolls. And if you've been watching my videos, the dimes have been following me in my penny and nickel boxes. I got a streak going on with dimes and my penny rolls. I think I have like 3 or 4 boxes with dimes in them. But this one's nice. It's a Merc dime from 1920. It is worn, and you could barely make out the 0 there, but did verify it is 1920. The back is even more slicked out. I can't even tell if there's a mint mark on the back. There may be an S. I'm not sure. I'm just playing it safe since I can't read it and saying it's just a 1920 Merc dime. But hey, it's nice to find them in here, and that's 95% silver. I'll put what the silver price is on that, the melt value, but that's still silver, and I stack silver, so it's a nice little dime to have to add to your collection. Even though it's worn and pretty slicked out there, as you can see. So we'll keep searching. A nice surprise there in the middle. We'll keep going through these rolls, and if I find something else, I'll loop you in. All right, we're on the last 10 coins of that third roll, and I got something to show you here. See what you think. I'll start with the kind of the obvious or the non-fun. We had 5 from the 50s, 2 from the 40s, 1 from the 30s, it's 39, and 1 from the 20s, a 28. But what I'm going to bring you in on is a Steel Cent that I found that was in this roll. I think I have a variety here, and I want you to see for yourself. So I'm going to bring it up to the scope here, and hopefully it will stay on the thing. And let me get that tightened there. All right, so I'm going to bring you in. Hopefully here it stays there. You can kind of see a double punch mark right here on the 43 Steel Cent D. It looks really suspicious, as you can see. If you tip it, it's always a good sign. You can see it there. Now, one good website to go to is the Vista Variety Vista page. So if you go to varietyvista.com, it will bring you up to certain ones. And I'm going to show you the 1943 DDO001, which I think I have here. So if you look there, it has the same characteristics as the coin I have. And we click here, and another good tail sign is they're showing here the die crack north from 0 to 1. And what's amazing is let's go back to the cent here, and you can barely see it, but I can on the scope, maybe a little bit harder for you, but you could see this mark right here from the U to O. It's literally in the same place as this one. So there's that crack there, U to the O. And here is, again, my coin, U to the O. I think I have this variety here, this 1943 D Cent DDO 001. Give me your thoughts on that. I'm showing all the telltale signs that this is a variety. And let me go back one more time just to show you. There's the D, and there's looks like the extra punch mark. I'm going to have to look some more details out. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. I'd like to know if you think I'm seeing things, or if this is truly that version 1 that we see right here. Again, it had the characteristics of it when I looked at the penny, especially this here. I kind of figured, no. But then when I come back over here, and you can, tip it here a little bit, you could see that die crack from that U to O. So very interesting here. Like I said, I think I have it. And let me know your thoughts on it. And if it is, I had a find in these rolls from eBay, which is actually surprising. I'm actually shocked. So I'm going to do a wrap up here and, show you what I think. And I'll show you what the points scored, if you agree or disagree. Like I said, I think this vendor does a pretty decent job of mixing it up. So we'll be right back for a wrap up. So I thought I'd do a wrap up on those eBay wheat cent rolls that I opened up. Those 3 rolls that you saw. So usually what I do is I separate them by years. I start with the 58, which is the last year of the wheat, and going all the way down to the 1909. And then of course my Liberty heads are up on top, or any other side finds I find. So as you can see, the most we got were of course the 1956s right there. We had a lot of those. Actually, we ended up with 56 from the 50s. Pretty decent luster there of 1958 Philadelphia. And as we go down, there is no 1954, which is both surprising and not surprising. They didn't, that was like the lowest mint year from the 50s. So not surprised I don't see a 53 in here, but a decent amount of 52s. As you go down, we're going into the 40s, only 149. We ended up with 37 from the 40s, not including the Steel Cents. As you can see, the most we got were from 1945 and 44 there. As you can see, they're a little bit, those are more more minted years. And then for the Steel Cents, as you saw there, we ended up with 13, 12 of them here. And then most of them, of course, were circulated. There was one or two nice ones out of there. Right there, that one was a really nice 43 as well from Philadelphia. It looked like it was uncirculated. As we go down, when we get into the 30s here, there were 17 from the 30s. I think the biggest year was actually 1935 there. No 33s, which is not surprising. No 31s, which is also not surprising either. Those were low mintage years as well. So in the 20s, we ended up with 7 from the 20s. So a couple years there, multiple years. I think that's 1920 and 21. And then these were from the teens. They ended up being 8 of them from the teens. Very worn, as you can tell from there. So very nice. We also found that Merc dime that was in one of these rolls, 1920. I'm going to say it's a 20 Philadelphia. It is slicked out like no one's business, which is not surprising. So, but it is 95% silver. So I will keep that definitely. It's, 95% silver. So you definitely keep those. And then Indian heads, we ended up with 11 of them. We ended up with that really nice 1908 where you can see the Liberty. So that one is actually pretty nice. As we go down the years, there's a couple from 1908, 1906, 1903, 02, 01, 1900, and then 2 from there's 1884 and 1 from 1897. So 2 from the 1800s. And then, of course, we got that white cent. Variety 1 is the 1859 version 1 Indian head. It is slicked out like you won't believe, but you can barely just see the year on there. I mean, you probably can't see it, but it's closer investigation it is. I weighed it. It's 4.3, so it has the characteristics of the 1859. Also, it doesn't have the shield on it. It has the full wreath, which is another telltale sign that it is a 1859. So we have that as well. So that was another nice find. And then, of course, what I alluded to at the end is that 1943, I believe, is a double die obverse version 1, 001. And there you can see the characteristics of the D right there. And then once I showed it as well, if we flip it over, you can see that line, which is also a tail sign, that it is a DDO with that die crack right there. So I am actually extremely happy with the rolls I got. Just kind of give a heads up on the points here. So the second roll was the best only because I had 5 Indian heads. I don't know, I might have to rescore this because I think the biggest find was that 1943 Steel Cent variety, which was in that third roll, even though I give it 30 points. Unfortunately, it had a lot more 50s in there than the other rolls, and it did not have that many from the 30s and 40s, so that's why I probably scored a little lower. But again, that find between the Merc dime and then the 1959 or 43 Steel Cent. I always mumble my words there. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Give me your thoughts on that 43 Denver Steel Cent. And Retro Robbie here. Remember, collect what you love.